Paul Kagame's early years were marked by displacement and uncertainty.
Born in 1957 in Tambwe, Rwanda, Kagame's childhood unfolded against the backdrop of ethnic tensions that had long simmered between the Hutu majority and Tutsi minority. His family fled to Uganda as refugees after the 1959 anti-Tutsi violence, uprooting his life and planting the seeds of a destiny shaped by exile and resistance.
The trauma of displacement instilled in Kagame a fierce determination to reclaim dignity and security for his people.
These formative years in a foreign land, among other Rwandan exiles, forged the foundation of his resolve. Despite hardships, Kagame excelled academically and showed early signs of leadership. He found purpose in the military academies of Uganda, joining the rebel group National Resistance Army, NRA, led by Yoweri Museveni. His military skills and strategic mind blossomed here, preparing him for the pivotal role he would play decades later. These experiences not only honed Kagame's tactical acumen but also gave him a vision to challenge oppression and reshape Rwanda's future. By the early 1990s, Kagame had risen to become a commander in Uganda's NRA, but his focus shifted back to Rwanda.
With the Rwandan Patriotic Front, RPF, a Tutsi-dominated rebel group formed by exiled Rwandans, Kagame sought to reclaim their homeland. The RPF's initial invasion in 1990 triggered a brutal civil war. Kagame's leadership was critical in steering the RPF through setbacks and fierce battles. The war was not just military, it was a struggle for identity, survival, and justice. Behind the scenes, Kagame emphasized discipline and unity, molding the RPF into a cohesive force amid ethnic divisions. Despite international pressures and peace talks, Rwanda's political landscape remained volatile. Kagame's resolve never wavered, even as atrocities escalated, and the genocide loomed. The rebel movement was his instrument of hope, a promise that Rwanda could emerge from chaos. April 1994 marked one of history's most horrific chapters, the genocide against the Tutsi. In just 100 days, nearly 1 million people were slaughtered by extremist Hutu militias. Kagame and the RPF, positioned as both liberators and avengers, faced the dual burden of stopping the massacre while preserving Rwanda's fractured social fabric. His forces launched a relentless counteroffensive, advancing steadily toward Kigali. The trauma of the genocide left deep scars. Kagame's leadership during this period was ruthless yet necessary to halt the killing and restore order. Yet the victory came at a steep cost: lives lost, families torn apart, and a nation plunged into despair. The liberation of Rwanda was also the beginning of an enormous challenge: healing the wounds and rebuilding a country devastated beyond measure. When Kagame's forces took control of Kigali, Rwanda was a country in ruins, economically shattered, socially fractured, and politically fragile. Entire communities were decimated, infrastructure destroyed, and trust between ethnic groups shattered. Kagame faced the monumental task of nation-building, knowing that peace would require more than military might. He immediately set about creating institutions that could foster reconciliation and development. Rwanda's future depended on dismantling the structures of hate that had fueled the genocide. Kagame's government prioritized justice through the Gacaca courts, a community-based reconciliation system, and began investing in education, healthcare, and infrastructure. This was the start of a journey toward transforming Rwanda's tragedy into a testament of resilience. Kagame's vision extended beyond mere survival. He sought to build an entirely new Rwanda, clean, prosperous, and united. Understanding the dangers of ethnic division, Kagame emphasized a national identity over tribal affiliations. His administration launched campaigns to promote unity, discipline, and work ethic as pillars of the new society. Economic reform was central to Kagame's strategy. He welcomed foreign investment, modernized agriculture, and fostered entrepreneurship. Technology and innovation became symbols of Rwanda's rebirth, with Kigali envisioned as a hub of progress. Despite criticism of his government's authoritarian tendencies, Kagame remained steadfast. To him, order and control were necessary evils to secure long-term stability and growth. This balancing act between reform and repression would define his leadership for years to come. In the wake of genocide, Rwanda's survival hinged on justice and reconciliation. Kagame's government revived the traditional Gacaca courts, a community justice system, to try thousands of genocide suspects. This grassroots approach was both innovative and controversial.
It allowed victims and perpetrators to face each other, fostering a process of truth-telling and forgiveness rarely seen in post-conflict societies. While the Gacaca courts helped clear the backlog of cases, international courts like the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda, ICTR, prosecuted high-profile perpetrators.
Kagame's administration faced criticism over human rights and political repression, but many Rwandans credit his firm grip on power with preventing a relapse into violence. Balancing justice with stability was a delicate task, one that defined the early years of his presidency. Under Kagame's leadership, Rwanda embarked on a remarkable economic transformation.
His government aggressively promoted policies to attract foreign investment and diversify the economy. Coffee and tea exports gave way to services, technology, and tourism. Kigali became a showcase city, clean, safe, and welcoming to investors.
Rwanda's Vision 2020 plan outlined ambitious goals for poverty reduction, infrastructure development, and technological innovation.
Kagame championed education reforms and the expansion of healthcare services, seeing human capital as the country's greatest asset. Though challenges remained, Rwanda's growth was a beacon of hope for Africa, defying predictions of a failed state. Kagame's Rwanda became a global leader in gender equality, with women holding more than 60% of parliamentary seats, more than any country worldwide. This shift was no accident.
Kagame's policies actively promoted female empowerment, recognizing women's crucial role in healing and development. Programs to boost women's education, entrepreneurship, and leadership flourished.
Rwanda's women rebuilt communities, led businesses, and helped reshape the country's social fabric. This transformation echoed a broader African trend where women's leadership became central to sustainable progress.
Kagame's administration redefined traditional gender roles, setting new standards for governance and inclusivity. Kagame's influence extended beyond Rwanda's borders.
As a key player in the East African region, he shaped alliances and rivalries with neighboring leaders, particularly Uganda's Museveni and the Democratic Republic of Congo's complex rebel factions. Kagame's role in regional conflicts earned both praise and criticism, painting him as a pragmatic strategist willing to engage in covert operations to secure Rwanda's interests. His vision of African integration often clashed with realpolitik. Kagame advocated for stronger economic and political cooperation through bodies like the East African Community, EAC, and the African Union, AU. Yet his firm stance on security and sovereignty sometimes put him at odds with Western governments and African neighbors alike, revealing the complexity of leadership in a volatile region.
In the 2010s, Kagame pushed Rwanda to the forefront of Africa's digital revolution.
With a focus on Smart Rwanda, his government invested heavily in ICT infrastructure, aiming to turn Kigali into the continent's tech hub. The country embraced e-governance, digital education, and innovative healthcare solutions, such as drone delivery of medical supplies. This vision resonated globally, attracting partnerships with tech giants and international organizations. Kagame's embrace of technology symbolized Rwanda's leap from the devastation of genocide to a future driven by innovation. Yet, critics warned that digital surveillance might tighten the government's control over dissent, illustrating the ongoing tension between progress and authoritarianism.
Recognizing that Rwanda's future depended on knowledge, Kagame prioritized education reform.
He launched initiatives to improve access to quality schooling, emphasizing science, technology, engineering, and math, STEM, fields. Partnerships with international universities and scholarship programs helped Rwandan students study abroad and return with new skills.
Kagame's vision extended to lifelong learning, promoting vocational training and adult education to reduce unemployment.
The government's efforts were seen as essential to breaking cycles of poverty and dependency. Education became a powerful tool for social mobility and national pride, cementing Rwanda's reputation as a forward-looking nation. Kagame's legacy is complex, a blend of visionary development and authoritarian control. His story is one of relentless determination to build a new Rwanda, a testament to the enduring human spirit and the difficult choices in leadership. The future will judge the full measure of his impact on Rwanda and Africa.